Have you noticed this in your life? This person says there's a kind of misanthrope who dislikes people in the abstract but likes actual people. And there's a kind of humanist who likes people in the abstract but dislikes actual people. To give you an example from my actual life, the most openly racist guy I ever met back in school had the most diverse social circle of anybody I ever met. You could watch him in action. He was far more comfortable around people different from himself than most of the kind-hearted progressives who post anti-racism memes. And I think this is fascinating because as a society, we have a name for this second one, the person who pretends to be kind but actually doesn't like people. We just call them hypocrites. These are the people who have the yard signs about loving your neighbor. But then you watch them in everyday life and they're just being horrible to customer service people and they're screaming at people in traffic. But I don't feel like we have a name for this other thing. But they are very common. I had a friend who said their mother was like this. In her personality and disposition, she was abrasive and cold. But in her actions, she was there for them 100% of the time. She always put the child's needs in front of her own, always, but also always complained about it. Or you'll meet the guy who's constantly talking about how their city is just an absolute hellhole, but they're also very involved in the city. Versus somebody from the suburbs who's constantly talking about how the city is a wonderful, rich tapestry, but they don't set foot there outside of like going to a fancy restaurant. But what I find fascinating about this is that we know why the hypocrite does what they do. They're trying to cover for their actions. They want credit for being a nice person without actually having to do the difficult things that make you nice. But then how do you explain the flip side of that? Because there you have people who are doing the hard work of helping others, but they're not getting any credit for it. Because we are living in a society where if somebody is helpful but has rancid vibes versus somebody who has great vibes but doesn't really help a lot, we tend to prefer the latter. Have you known people like this, like the first one up here? Or is it you?